So, Jess, why did you become a realtor?
I worked in various customer service jobs, so I wanted something a little bit more rewarding. Becoming a real estate agent, being able to help people find their forever homes or their investment homes, starter homes. It's very exciting, so a lot of fun.
Now, you've gotten off to a really good start in your real estate career. What has been the most rewarding part of this for you so far?
Helping people, especially like first-time home buyers, finding their first home. They're so excited. I'm so excited to help them. So it's a nice, rewarding part.
What is it that you think makes you different than other real estate agents?
I think that my various roles in customer service has helped me. So I like to ask a lot of questions and I want to know what I'm doing. So I think that helps a lot because I'm not going to steer people the wrong way. I'm going to make sure they have knowledgeable decisions and help them find the right home.
Last thing I'm going to ask you is, and I know these are words that you live by, but the mantra at CTBB Realty is?
People over paychecks and do the damn thing.
And that's what we do.
Jones on first down, wide open, it's Barkley. And Saquon Barkley will take it into the end zone.
Your best ability is availability. Saquon Barkley, he's great when he's on the field, but the problem is since 2018, he hasn't been healthy for this team.
Look at this. They lob it to him. He taps it in off the glass. How about that?
Porter Moser, I think right now is the best coach of college basketball, hands down.
Fins 2 for 3. He's done his part.
Pitch is drilled to deep right field toward the pole, and it is gone.
They don't mind not being what they were in the 90s as the best organization in baseball, because the Yankees are not. They're even close to the best organization in baseball.
You're trying to be the Rays, and the Rays do this for a reason. Like, you're the Yankees.
The Giants are running New York like the Times as Danny is dropping all sorts of dimes. Saquon's thighs are ruining defenses' lives and Leonard Williams making opposing QBs feel him. Receivers think it's scary to line up across James Bradbury, and the Giants have a bright future led by Coach Judge, Jury, and Executioner. Tune in to Drawing About the GMen every Wednesday at 6, live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
This ain't some clown show organization or something else.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to John About the G-Men, Giants football podcast. I'm Big Jace, joined by Sean Scanlon, and we got a lot to talk about. Zay should be joining us here in a little bit as well. But boy, oh boy, the Giants clown show organization. It's been these past couple games. I mean, you saw the intro, the picks, the 3rd and 9 QB sneak that will go down in infamy. Here he is. What's going on, Zay?
What's up? It's good, guys.
I mean, now let's just put all that garbage from the past couple weeks behind us and just look forward as now Gettleman's out, Joe Judge out, back to just got to build a foundation to build something off of. Now, Sean, we spoke a little bit about this in the pre-show, but say the Giants pick everything right. Perfect new GM, perfect new head coach. How long does it take them before they can get back to where we want them to be and a competitor, whether it's in the NFC East or even the league? How long, say they do everything right, how long is it going to take for the Giants to get back to where they need to be?
I think in a perfect scenario, I think it's going to take somewhere from 2 to 4 years, honestly. I don't think it's going to happen right away next season. We don't have a lot of cap space to spend. There's a lot of bad contracts that we got to get rid of. But if we do hire the right head coach and the right general manager, I think this team could be contending in 2 to 4 years, because not for the champion, not for the Super Bowl, I think, but for an NFC East title, because there is some talent on this team. There's some pieces to build around, like Xavier McKinney, Azeez Ojulari, Andrew Thomas. We have some players on the outside. Kenny Galladay, even though he had a bad season, he's locked up in a contract for a long time. We got Kadarius Toney. So there are young pieces to build around that we have in this team. There's a foundation, but it's really about building up this O-line, getting some pass rush. I think the defense is fine as it is, but I think in a perfect scenario, there's definitely a lot of things to do. There's, like I said, not a lot of money to spend in free agency. We do have some nice draft capital, which is nice. 2 top 10 picks this year with number 5 and number 7. So that will help out in the long run, I think. But this offense needs a complete rebuild. The defense needs some adjustments. Obviously, like I said, an elite pass rusher definitely will help out this defense. I think make it maybe even a top 5 defense in this league. So there's a lot of things that need to be done. But I do think that we're not in a terrible spot per se. I think obviously a lot of things to work on, but I think that we could contend for the NFC East in somewhere in 2 to 4 years. But I don't think it's going to happen right away next year. I think next year is going to be a transition year, because it's going to be a little bit of a long process. And some Giants fans might not like that it's not going to be right away. But when you're at rock bottom like this, it takes a little time to build. So I think it will take a couple of years. But I do think that if the Giants get it right, or ownership gets it right with the new hires, I think that it could be done.
Zay, same question to you. How long will it take? And also, who do you want as the Giants' new head coach?
That's a lot of questions. That's a lot to fill. I'll start off with your first question. I'm not one with Sean. I'm in the world of 1 to 2 years and the turnaround. And I say this because we've seen teams like Cincinnati. We see teams like Cleveland, where sometimes when you make the right decisions and you can take your team that was rock bottom or not as good and completely redo it and get to where they have to be. We know what Cincinnati wasn't supposed to be. We know they were supposed to be a team on the way up. They weren't supposed to be the team that they are now. But Joe Burrow, he's obviously way ahead of schedule. And Cleveland, obviously Baker Mayfield, he's been up and down, but he has at least taken them to a playoff situation. So getting the right guy at quarterback seems to have helped that team and put them in the right spot, I guess. If they can figure things out and get back on track, that's more about how they move forward. That's not a franchise I'm worried about. I'm worried about the New York Giants. And in my opinion, the New York Giants have a lot on defense, and I still think they have weapons on offense that can be used if used properly. I still believe Kenny Galladay is a baller. I think if you can find him someone that can get him the ball and allow him to be the playmaker he is, that can help out tremendously on that offense. It could take a lot of pressure off of who could be the next quarterback. It could take a lot of pressure off the run game. And I think if the Giants can find a way to solidify this offensive line, Andrew Thomas is obviously someone who you want to build around. He's obviously your franchise person on that line. So that's who you want to build around. And I think that if you can find a way to get a couple more pieces on that other side, that Giants team could turn it around in 1 to 2 years. I'm not really worried about it. I think we have the weapons to do that. And I think the defense, once you add a pass rusher there and you get those linebackers, you get more solidified line. Obviously, Jalen Smith was a fill-in. We're obviously not going to bring him back. He was a fill-in. Cam Brown and these other guys are obviously not the guys we need. But if we can find guys who we could put next to Blake Martinez and solidify that linebacker position, I think that defense jumps tremendously and almost puts them back to where they were 2 years ago, where they were a top 10 defense. So I think this Giants team could turn around in 1 to 2 years, but it's going to take the right picking, and it's going to take the right, getting the right people, making the right decisions, restructuring contracts like Blake Martinez and James Bradbury, 2 players who make a ton of money, but obviously haven't been what we need them to be. So obviously there should be some wiggle room there in their contracts. So I think we can get money there. And obviously there are trades that can happen with Evan Ingram and Sterling Shepard, 2 players who I think we can get rid of and maybe get some value and bring probably back, maybe not the best offensive lineman, but offensive lineman that can definitely help out on that offensive line if we can make a proper trade. As far as the coach goes, I've always said it. I'm a big fan of Eric Bieniemy. I think what he did with the Chiefs and the creativity he has on that offense, I think if we can get somebody in here to create, be creative, get this offense alive, make it look good, bring it to the, this 2020 as opposed to the old offenses that we've been running that doesn't work as well in this new NFL. I think someone like him, he can come and shake things up and make this Giants team, like I said, accelerate a lot faster than what some other people's timetable have.
Yeah, I see. The only thing I love Bieniemy, but I just feel like him and like Josh McDaniels. I feel like whenever there's a coaching position up and their name's involved, I feel like they're never gonna get it because they're just gonna take over. Like I think McDaniels is just gonna take over for Belichick when he leaves. I think Bieniemy's just gonna take over for Andy Reid. That's why I don't think they're getting the right interviews and that stuff. Because I mean, and also look at what as far as Daniels goes, look at what Joe Judge is part of it. Look at what these guys do. Come from New England, give it their shot as a head coach. Get fired, go back. Joe Judge will be teaching. He'll be a punter's coach for Bill Belichick next fall. I believe it.
I think Joe Judge was a pressure pick by the Giants. I don't think they necessarily wanted him as a coach, but when they were picking coaches were flying off the board. We saw Dallas, they took a coach, and then Carolina took Matt Rule, who was somebody who we had on our radar, who obviously didn't work out for them either way. But again, they were coaches flying off the board. So I think the Giants figured maybe we grab this guy. He's got Belichick's approval. He's this new guy. No one really interviewed him. They thought maybe they could find something new, maybe a steal or something like that. And I think that's probably how they were going about that process, honestly, because they running out of options.
I mean, it was wild. I mean, I don't know. But Sean, who do you want to be the next Giants head coach?
I want a offensive-minded head coach. I think that we tried it with the defense side of the ball, and I do like Brian Flores. Obviously, the Dolphins just fired him, but I just don't want to run it back. We just saw this with Joe Judge, a Belichick disciple who is this tough-nosed guy, and obviously Joe Judge and him are very similar, had very similar coaching experiences prior to their head coaching, prior to when their head coaching career started. So I wouldn't mind Brian Flores, but I just think he's so similar to Joe Judge that I don't really want to run that back after what we just saw with Joe Judge. So a couple names that I think would make sense is one of them is Brian Dable, offense coordinator for the Bills. He's done a fantastic job with that offense. Obviously, he's developed Josh Allen to one of the top quarterbacks in the league. The Giants just interviewed the assistant GM, Joe Schoen, from the Bills today. So that would make sense. If they end up hiring him, I'm pretty sure that he would want a guy that he's had past experience with. So Brian Dable would make sense there. I think he could come into this offense. I think Daniel Jones is kind of a similar type player to Josh Allen. He's got a great arm downfield. He could obviously run with the ball. He's super athletic. So I think that would make sense. And another name that I know not a lot of Giants would be fine with this one, but I think Doug Peterson would make sense. Former Eagles head coach. He did a great job with Carson Wentz when he was there. I think that he's familiar with the NFC East. And after things ended last year, the way they ended with him taking out Jalen Hurts for Nate Sudfeld, I know I was pissed at him in the moment because I wanted the Giants to make the playoffs. But I think that he's a great offensive coach. He took a year off, and he obviously knows the NFC East a lot. And I think that he wants to come back and get some revenge against the Eagles. So I know a lot of fans would be hesitant about that, but I think Doug Peterson and Brian Dable will make sense. And I do like Eric Bieniemy, but I kind of agree with Jace. I don't think he's leaving Kansas City anytime soon. I don't think he would want to leave a situation like that where Andy Reid is getting up there in age. I think he is going to just pass the baton to him.
Whoa. You got to understand. This is still New York. No matter what you say, this is still New York. This is still one of the most greatest jobs you can have as a coach. Like, if you win in New York, it puts you in levels that is just beyond because of how hard it is to win in New York in sports. So don't just say, I think he would leave.
You don't think the Chiefs are a better situation than the Giants right now?
Currently they are. But the idea that what you can do with this team, this is, again, the idea that you have a team that's going to be completely yours, basically, to mold into what you want. That's what you have to come in with this head coaching idea. The head coach has to come in and know that this new GM, the new head coach, they're going to do things the way they want to do things, not the way the last regime did things. And that's why I don't even think Daniel Jones will be the quarterback next year. I think Daniel Jones came with Gettleman and Judge. And I think when you lost both of them, I don't think the next group is going to want to work with Daniel Jones. They're going to want to bring in their own guy. If they're going to be trial by fire, they're going to want to die with their own person. I don't think Daniel Jones honestly will be coming back as the quarterback of the New York Giants.
Yeah, it's definitely a possibility, but I mean, if I'm not going to be the GM, but if I were the GM, I'd bring him back for his 4th year while he's still in his rookie contract and try and get something out of him. You're gonna waste a very valuable draft pick on a quarterback, or you're gonna spend a lot of money on a quarterback that's a really bad free agency class for quarterbacks.
It happens. The Chiefs has wasted numerous top picks on quarterbacks. It happens. We've seen it in the last almost 4 years in a row. We've seen it. It happens.
Yeah, but that's not what you want to do when you have 2 top 10 picks, when you could still bring back Daniel Jones, who still has potential, and he's still on his rookie contract. So
listen. Next year, regardless, is a wash. So I think you have Daniel Jones. Even if you bring back Mike Glennon.
No Mike Glennon.
No, I'm not. Listen.
There would be no Mike Glennon.
No,
I don't think he should be in the NFL.
Listen.
Him and Jake Fromm could
listen to what I'm trying to say. You could even bring in Mike Glennon, but the new coach and GM needs to go, hey, I'm not sold with Daniel Jones. We're bringing a guy to have Daniel Jones compete with in the preseason.
Who is he? You bringing anybody?
Some free agent, because regardless, next year's chalk. Next year's chalk. It's rebuild city.
Hey, you say you take Pitts with the 5th pick. He is beating out Daniel Jones for that position. Daniel Jones isn't good.
No one's going to draft anyone. No one's taking anyone.
I hope they don't
It's going to be
If
2 O linemen or an O lineman.
There's so many other needs than quarterback right now.
Listen, so bring in a different guy.
I don't agree with that.
Make it a competition.
I honestly
I think it's an issue, but it's not our biggest issue. And Daniel Jones still on a rookie contract.
Again, so I think it's our biggest. I think it's a bigger issue than our running back situation, because you can find a running back at dime.
I don't think running back's a problem. I'm talking about offensive line and pass rusher.
I think you need to fix your quarterback situation. If you're not getting a Russell Wilson, you're going to need to seriously fix it for the future.
Yes, you do.
There's no point to go after Russell Wilson.
Why is there no point to go after? What?
Why is there no point? We're not going to win right away next year. We don't have any O-line. If we give away draft picks for Russell Wilson, that means our 2 top 10 picks are gone, and we have one lineman that's good on this team.
Has shown he can do great things with a terrible O-line.
With terrible O-lines. That defense the Giants have had. The Giants defense is better than what Seattle has for the last few years. The Giants defense healthy is better than what Seattle's had.
And they haven't gone anywhere in the playoffs.
With Russell Wilson, I think that's a great quick fix, quick Band-Aid type thing. But no, I want them to actually build something and go into something. Like make it actually great, meaningful. Like this winning on the fly crap we've shown multiple times isn't working.
I agree.
And so I think that what would be great, I think. Yeah, maybe the best Russell Wilson coming to the Giants could do, we'd be Philly this year. Yeah, maybe get into the wild card, but probably get stomped.
No, I think we'd be better than Philly. I wouldn't put it Philly.
No, it's a clown show organization.
Galladay had 0 touchdowns, and that was really due to the fact of who his quarterback was
and him always being hurt.
Yeah, again, you bring in a guy like Russell Wilson, and I'm telling you, all these injuries, they start to disappear. It gets weird. It's this weird thing that happens in sports. These players get happy, and then they're not injured as much. It's weird.
I do agree with you to a point, but still.
I mean, like I said, we see Odell at the end of his career, that weird magical injuries he had at the end of his Giants career when they were out of the playoffs. I'm just saying.
All right. Well, we 19 minutes on the Giants, that's a lot. We have a lot to talk about the Giants more, and we will more on the offseason. But let's get back to the real actual football, because thank God the Giants aren't playing anymore. But I do actually want to end our Giants talk off on the right foot. Look back at the good, very, very few good. I didn't put this on the notes. I forgot about it. Giant of the Year. Let's start off our end of the season awards. Giant of the Year. Sean, who's your Giant of the Year?
I'd probably have to say Xavier McKinney. I think he's one of the best safeties in the league. I think that he was. All right, let me finish.
He played great.
Let him finish.
He's one of the best.
I'm not
one of the
let him
best
go.
young safeties in the league. He's a ball hawk. I think he had 5 or 6 interceptions this year. He's one of the mainstays on this defense. He's amazing in coverage. He could play the deep half of the field. He comes up and plays physical in the run game. So I really like Xavier McKinney. I think that he was a steal for a second-round pick. And there's not a lot of bright spots on the Giants this year. The only other person I could think of is maybe Graham Gano. There weren't a lot of good players on this team this year. So I think Xavier McKinney is definitely I hope he's a Giant for a long, long time because I think he's, like I said, one of the better young safeties in the league. And I think that he's got a bright future ahead with the Giants. And so I think he was probably the best player in the Giants this year.
I mean, like I said, I agree with you. He's a great player. He should be a Pro Bowler. They screwed him. If Evan Ingram's a Pro Bowler, Xavier McKinney was a Pro Bowler this year. But
big facts.
It's Graham Gano, my guy. He's 90% of the offense. He's everything. Without Graham Gano, we don't score. Literally, we wouldn't score this year without Graham Gano, I don't think. So, to me, I don't see how it could be anybody else. He's the most reliable person. He was there every week for us. He kicked he missed 2 field goals all year, something like that. That man is
not a lot.
He's the Giant of the year. I don't see how in a year that was miserable and horrible and everything that could go wrong, he never went wrong for us. That's one thing I can say. So Graham Gano is my Giant of the year. There's no question about it. It's not. I can't even believe I'm picking a kicker. This is so weird.
No, you're right.
We are.
No, the first year we did this show, what was that, 2-3 years ago? I mean, our Giant of the year was Riley Dixon. Like, that's how you know Giants are just bad because, I mean, you're picking a specialty. But, yeah, it's got to be Graham Gano. The only shining light for this Giants. I mean, Daniel Jones, he had glimpses. Maybe if he stayed healthy, maybe. But, man, it's rough. All right. Now let's get into actual talking good football. Rookie of the year. None of this offensive, defensive crap. Who is the one rookie that's made the most impact? Sean.
I'm going with Jamar Chase. I think that his impact on the Bengals can't be stated enough. Him and Joe Burrow have that great connection. And I think he's he's definitely a top 10 receiver already in the league. I think he might even be closing in on a top 5. He's absolutely electric. After the catch, he's a great route runner. He can go up and get it in tight coverage situations. So I think his impact on that Bengals team, that's probably the main reason that they're in the playoffs this year. Because the Bengals O-line is still not good. I know Bengals fan wanted to address that in the offseason, but it didn't even matter this year. Joe Burrow still got beat up, and he still found ways to get the ball to Jamar Chase. So that connection is going to be deadly for probably 10 to 15 years down the road, and it all started this year. So I think Jamar Chase is definitely my rookie of the year.
Zay, who you got?
This is a dumb question. Zach Wilson. Nah, I'm just messing with you guys. Your face is nah. This was actually hard, but for me, it came down to Jamar Chase. Like, Burrow went out, he asked for his guy, got his guy, and his guy is everything he asked him to be. He obviously, in my eyes, he solidified it that week against the Chiefs when he obviously had that walk-off touchdown in the manner he did. That just showed you who he was. And it was really hard at first because I really wanted to pick Waddle because Waddle had an excellent year down there for the Miami Dolphins. He was literally their entire offense. They literally gave him the ball almost every play. So it was hard to pick between them two, but it really came down to Jamar Chase. He electric. Like, again, I can't remember. Maybe Odell Beckham the last time there was a really good rookie year like that we paid attention to. So it's Jamar Chase for me.
Or Justin Jefferson last year.
But it wasn't the Odell style type. Justin Jefferson wasn't like Odell. Like, that year he came back after injury, he really set the league on fire. It was just a different type of flame, bro. That was I
mean, okay.
Dreams of what it could have been. Sorry, dreams of what could have been.
Listen, I mean, Jamar Chase, yeah, it's great. But the thing why I'm going, and it hurts me to do this because he's a Cowboy.
Don't do it.
Michael Parsons.
No,
listen. The Cowboys defense was terrible last year.
Yeah,
and he is the only change And he has made a huge impact on that. It's a top 10 defense now.
Diggs really stepped it up too. It was
he did, but Diggs also lets up a bunch of yards too.
And that only became a stat when people wanted to hate on the Cowboys. That literally
he does give up a bunch of big plays as well. Diggs does it. But Micah Parsons, he can do that. He can rush the passer. He's great in the middle of the field as well. He's a beast. And the thing, Jamar Chase, yeah, it's great, but also Joe Burrow showed us last year a little bit of those glimpses. So how much of that? Jamar Chase is a beast, but also then there comes the question: how much of Jamar Chase's success is with Joe Burrow? How much is because he's Jamar Chase? I think.
The Bengals had a top 5 pick last year, and now they won the division.
We're gonna discredit this guy.
Yeah, but also because Joe Burrow had them competing until he tore his ACL last year. Like they showed these glimpses at times.
They weren't as good as they are this year.
No, they're definitely not. I think, I'm gonna go Micah Parsons. I really wanted one of you to do the Parsons. Well, one of you to do the Jamar Chase, I could have said.
I'm not doing that wearing this.
So I could have said Penei Sewell. I really wanted to say Penei Sewell, just for the record.
Creed Humphrey.
He's a beast. Creed Humphrey is a monster. Like he is. Rashawn Slater's been all right as well.
You kill me, Jace. You kill me.
A lot of good old linemen. Just saying.
You kill me, bro.
All right. Okay. Let's go. Coach of the year. This one should be interesting. I'm gonna start with you this time, Zay. Who's your coach of the year?
This was actually. That's funny, Joe Judge. No, this was Jesus Christ. No, this was actually harder for me than I actually thought. I actually wanted to take Jesus Christ, Tennessee with Mike Vrabel. I actually wanted to take Vrabel. But when I really thought about it, it came down to Matt LaFleur. Now hear this. That season probably started off the ugliest way a season could have ever started off for a team with one of the greatest quarterbacks in football history. He's one of the greatest. I'm not gonna lie. He's probably top 10 all time. And the way that he was able to reel that team back in, bring them together, and then the COVID situation with Aaron Rodgers lying and not lying, and still get the team to focus and put it together and lock down the number 1 seed with all that going on around. And there was a lot of teams that dealt with a lot of stuff, but they were able to lock down the number 1 seed, pinky toe injury and all. And that's why I have to go with Matt LaFleur. He continues to show you he's a good coach. He continues to show you that his chemistry with Aaron Rodgers is very important to the team's success, and the way he allows Aaron Rodgers to be as free as he is. And that plays a big part in that, in their offensive success and why they are the number 1 seed. And why, again, I have them in the Super Bowl in the NFC. They won't choke this year. So for me, it's Matt LaFleur.
All right. I'm not mad at that. I like that a lot. LaShawn, who you got?
Yeah, those are the 2 exact names that I was thinking of. I would take Mike Vrabel over him because I think that, they lost their 3 best playmakers on offense for the majority of the year. Being without Derrick Henry, their entire offense definitely hurts, and they still locked up the number 1 seed. They didn't get a lot of respect all year, even though they had one of the best records in the AFC. They were overthought by a lot of people, and Mike Vrabel, ever since he's gotten there, has been super consistent. He's had this team playing at a playoff level, obviously making the AFC Championship game a couple years ago, being close to the Super Bowl. So I think this is the best coaching job he's done, obviously, with most of his offense out. That defense has stepped up a lot. So I think he definitely deserves it. But Matt LaFleur is definitely right there. I wouldn't be mad if he won it because winning 13 games in your first 3 seasons as head coach, that can't be understated enough. That's a tremendous job. Even though he has Aaron Rodgers, they have built that great chemistry, even though it wasn't a great start. So I think he definitely deserves some consideration. Like I said, winning 13 games, your first 3 seasons is tough to do. I think he's the first coach to do it. So, and he hasn't won Coach of the Year yet, I'm pretty sure. So he definitely deserves some consideration too. But I would go with Vrabel.
I like all of those. I feel like every year, Coach of the Year, there's always just great candidates because, I mean, the storylines just are always great. But to me, I got to go Bill Belichick. Like, no one thought the Pats would be where they are right now.
I wouldn't go that far. People
with the rookie QB,
all right,
to do what he's done after last year, to see how they struggled.
They had a lot of opt-outs from COVID last year. Cam Newton quarterback, and then he missed time with COVID.
Yeah, the turnaround is wild. And with the rookie QB, I think Bill Belichick should get it. I mean, this defense, like there's no real stud on this defense, and it's doing great.
There is.
Judon, okay.
J.C. Jackson, maybe the best corner in the game.
Nah. I'm sorry. Nah.
What?
He's solid, but I mean, okay. But I know. I think Bill Belichick figured it out. And also trading away Stephon Gilmore. You realize how many people were all like, what are you doing when that happened?
We've seen Bill Belichick trade away players before. He understands when it's time. It's just Bill. Yeah. That's just Bill. I didn't question it. If Bill gets rid of you, it's for a reason. I don't question it.
And he should be coach of the year. I mean, everyone thought he was done. Everyone thought he was done after Brady left. And now he's here making the playoffs again. Mac Jones.
No one thought he was done. No, people thought it was gonna be hard.
After last year.
Granted, again, Mac Jones was picked up late in the draft because they weren't that bad of a team. Again, when you're picked up in the top 10, the top 50, that's when you're on really rough teams. Mac Jones was picked up a little. I think what were they, 25 or something like that?
No, I think it was 15. But still, that's not terrible.
20. I thought they were closer to 20.
It was around.
I thought maybe they traded up. I don't know. I don't remember what the situation was.
I think they did trade up.
They weren't on. He wasn't coming on to a terrible team. It's like coming to Jacksonville. That's a terrible situation. It's a lose situation. I mean, that's different. If Urban Meyer was in the playoffs, I'd be like, yeah, he's definitely coaching it down. Especially after what he's been through.
Couldn't even make it through the season.
Yeah, but all right. Enough with the coaches. Defensive player of the year, Sean, who you got?
Has to be TJ Watt, I think. Obviously setting the sack record, and I think he only played in 14 or 15 games. He's the reason that Steelers defense is in the playoffs right now. I think without him on the field, the games that he missed due to injury, they got gashed. And when he's there, obviously he's just an absolute game wrecker. And he got robbed last year. Aaron Donald won it over him, but I don't think he'll be robbed this year. He definitely deserves it. So I think TJ Watt's the obvious answer here.
No argument here. No point even covering it again. TJ Watt.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I would make the argument TJ Watt, you could put in MVP talks as well. Like how valuable this dude has been to this team. Look, also, we didn't even mention Mike Tomlin. I think Mike Tomlin deserves some Coach of the Year praise as well. Because I mean, look at what him and TJ Watt are doing with the Steelers with Big Ben. Like, I mean, so old, so just broken,
disrespectful.
It's just like wheeling out like a grandpa.
Watch your surprise us being the Super Bowl. Wouldn't that be something?
That'd be wild.
That would be the greatest story ever.
Him against Aaron Rodgers. That'd be wild.
I'd love that movie.
Rematch.
I'd love to see that movie when it's made.
That'd be wow. But yeah, TJ Watt, it's just a beast. Like, I don't think anyone, maybe Micah Parsons, maybe, but not really. Maybe Myles Garrett.
I'm talking about Micah Parsons.
What is your obsession? You in love with this guy? You got posted?
No, I told the whole world he played the end in high school, and now the Cowboys are putting him at the end. I said the Giants should draft him, and they didn't. I'm kind of salty about it.
I'm pretty sure I said it, and y'all was like, well, we don't need a linebacker. We need a lineman, but
no.
We could play those.
And then I brought up that he played the end in high school, and then everyone was like, "Oh yeah, Michael Parsons will do great." And now look what the Cowboys are benefiting off of him. Fuck the Cowboys. MVP. Who's the MVP? Zay?
Come on, bro. The greatest gunslinger in the game is Aaron Rodgers, bro. It's Sheriff Rodgers. What type of? Not only is he the MVP of the league, he's the MVP of every Giant fan. Without Aaron Rodgers, we might still have Joe Judge as a coach. If he wasn't on that Pat McAfee show and just trashing that 3rd and 9 call on that quarterback sneak, and I think John Mara saw that and then said, look, all right, we got to go because now we got players on podcasts making fun of us. This is how low it's gotten. So in my book, he's the MVP because all signs were he was staying until that came out. So Aaron Rodgers is my MVP for the Giants. He's my MVP for the league, obviously. Number 1 seed. What more can you say, guys? He's the best quarterback in the game. Like, I don't care what it says. Screw Brady. Give me Rodgers all day. I'll continue to say it.
All right. Damn. Okay. Hey, I take Rodgers every single day for every game except the NFC Championship. Because that sucks in the NFC Championship. But and that's what's going to happen this year. He's going to go to the NFC Championship and lose again. Because that's what he does. But Sean, who's your MVP? You got Aaron Rodgers
back to back Aaron Rodgers. I agree. He's been the best player all year. He's the reason that the Packers are so good, obviously. And he just, like Zay said, he's a gunslinger. He has great connections with his receiver, especially Devonta Adams, and that's the reason they're the 1 seed again. So I think it has to be Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, it's probably going to be Aaron Rodgers again, and he's going to lose in the NFC Championship again.
I thought you were going to say Tristan Wirfs or something. I was like, oh, God.
No, but I do have some other guys I want to mention. Obviously, Jonathan Taylor being a beast, monster. Probably would not have the same effect if Derrick Henry didn't get injured, but still Jonathan Taylor's a monster. And also, it's tough with Jonathan Taylor. Also, like I said earlier, TJ Watt, I think, deserves some sort of MVP stuff. And also D-Hop, for what the Cardinals are a completely different team with and without him. They've only won one game without him.
Got nothing to do with Kyler Murray. Got nothing to do with James Conner having a really exceptional year.
You talk about being most valuable. If they can only win one game without you, that's pretty valuable. Yeah.
Wait. First off, that Texans team is lost a lot more than just him. So let's not just put them in that boat.
What?
You said they lost one game without him. I mean, you said they won one game without him.
This year. No, I'm talking about the Cardinals without the
I thought you were talking about
I'm not talking about the Texans.
I was like, don't put the Texans. They got more issues than him.
Man, what the hell? No one ever talks about the Texans.
Yeah, we already talk about the Giants on the show. No need to.
Bro. Don't disrespect me. I'm actually a Texans fan.
I
watch Texans games. I do. I tune in.
Oh, yeah, of course.
David Carr guy. Y'all weren't old enough to know.
All right. Okay. Let's.
He won a ring with the Giants.
He did. He did indeed. Him and yeah.
All
right. Okay. Let's take a break because and we'll talk about the games coming up in our postseason edition of Best Bets. But if you're betting, make sure you bet responsibly and help manage your money. Check out JPEX Financial Group.
Do you have a 401k and some savings for future retirement that you don't even know if it's enough to live off of? How much is enough? And how often do you think about it? The team at JPEX Financial Group can help set your mind at ease. We specialize in creating strategies, doing the planning and managing of your financial, educational, and investment needs. We help clients pursue their investment goals with sound financial strategies. You deserve a personal, tailored plan. Lasting, meaningful, and open relationships are the foundation of our practice. You've worked hard for your money and should feel confident with your investment choices as you make decisions for your financial future. Your goals are our goals. We are dedicated to your needs and hopes for your future. Visit our website or give us a call at 860-430-5397.
Boom, JPEX Financial. Thank you for sponsoring today's episode. Make sure you check them out. Now, I won best bets during the season. I won fantasy locks. Now, I figured to give you guys a shot for the playoffs. Let's start everything.
What are the numbers at? Where are the numbers at?
Clean slate.
Where are the numbers at? What did you?
Graham only got you 1
Be a
point.
clean slate. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so where are the numbers at? Because I think I made it pretty close at the end. What are the
You were down like 50, bro. You had to score 50 to beat me.
Listen,
it was over.
50.
Yeah,
you're down like 40. I was down like 50. I almost caught Zay in second place.
You're making up
I think I was
numbers.
like a point behind.
Probably. All right. Listen, it's a clean slate now, but we're doing it different.
All right, sir. Sorry.
We're doing every game. You got to give me a bet from it. Starting off first game, Saturday night, Vikings at Cincinnati. The Bengals favored 6.5. Over under line 49.
Raiders, sir. You said Vikings, Raiders.
Oh, did I? Oh, geez. Las Vegas Raiders and the Cincinnati Bengals. Sean, what do you like in this game?
I like Raiders plus 5.5. Rich Bisaccia, you got to ride with him. Ever since he took over as interim head coach, they've been killing it, and I think I think they'll keep it close. They played earlier this season, these two teams, and Bengals blew them out 32-13, I believe. But I think it will be different this time around. I think that they got to get after Joe Burrow with the weak Bengals O-line. I think that Max Crosby, Solomon Thomas, Yannick Ngakoue, they got to have huge games because their secondary isn't going to hold up for super long with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. So got to get after the quarterback. And then on offense side of the ball, Darren Waller, he's going to be huge in this game. He's probably going to be matched up with Jesse Bates, the Bengals safety, in man-to-man situations. But he had a huge game when they played the first time, and I think they got to expose that again. So big game for Darren Waller. They got to get after the quarterback, and they're going to cover 5.5.
All right. Zay, what you liking?
Well, I agree with Sean. I do like the Raiders to cover the spread. I do think if you're going to take this outright, the Bengals will win this outright. I think they will advance because I think the Bengals are probably one of the hottest teams in football. And if there's any team that could be a threat in the West, AFC, excuse me, in the West, get ready for the next show. I'm sorry. In the AFC, it's definitely the Bengals, in my opinion. If there's any team that's a threat, I mentioned before last week, I said they were my sneak pick, even though y'all wanted to throw Indianapolis as my sneak pick. And I thought
you said the Colts were going to the Super Bowl.
I said the Colts should they should have been in the playoffs. They should have been, and my sleeper pick would have been the Bengals because I thought the Colts were going to get the job done. Who thought they were going to lose to the Jags? I didn't think they were going to lose to the Jags. I thought they were going to get the job done. So yeah, guess what? I screwed the pooch on that one. But yeah, the Bengals is definitely the team to worry about in the AFC. So if you're a betting person, take the Raiders on the spread. But if you're going outright, I'm taking the Bengals here.
So do you want the Raiders against the spread or just Bengals money line?
Bro, don't take my bets. I don't win at anything. I'm just telling you what's your best option. All
right, I'll give you Bengals money line. There we go.
Oh, for me? Give me the Bengals outright. Yeah, give me the Bengals outright. I'm not playing with this no more.
I'm gonna go with what's been working for me on this show. I'm gonna go the over, baby. Over 49. I think
fair. You're copping out. That's so not even fair. You're
how? Listen, talk, and then maybe.
All right, let me hear it.
I'm not. The Bengals are going to win this football game. I think it's going to be a offensive battle. I think the Raiders might be able to get after Joe Burrow and get to pressure him, but I think he'll make the plays. I think Derek Carr and Darren Waller have a big game as well. I think it's going to be – I think the Bengals win by a touchdown. But I'm just going to go the over here. I think it's going to be close. I think they are going to put points.
Take the Bengals with the spread.
I like the over better.
Why are you playing?
Because
you're scared. You're scared. It's okay.
Yes, I know.
We still got heart, Sean.
The Raiders have been scary all year long. All year long. They're so emotional. They're so weird. You can never get a tell on them. The only time I've been right about the Raiders all year was the John Madden game against the Colts. That's the only time, and against the Giants when the Giants beat them. But I mean, the Raiders, I can't trust them. That's why I'm going the over. I think I can trust them for a couple scores. I think the Bengals, I think Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase light it up. So yeah, I'm going the over there. But I mean, who knows? Who knows? Anything can happen. Anything. It's the playoffs, baby. It's the playoffs.
It's a 21-10
game. Let's go to stick in the AFC. The Pats against the Bills. Zay, I'm gonna start with you here.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take New England getting the points here because I don't trust Josh Allen in the playoffs. He's just up and down, and unless he's playing Lamar Jackson, another person I don't trust in the playoffs, I really don't want to take him. So I'm gonna go New England here. Plus, the experience of Belichick, just knowing how to get players prepared for this. Even Mac Jones has probably never been in this situation in his life. He's never been in a situation. Excuse me. But I think Belichick will definitely have him ready and prepared to play this like it's any other game. So I'm going to take New England getting the points here. And again,
Mac Jones has played in big games. I mean, in college, he led them.
Yes, a national championship is not the equivalent of an NFL playoff game, bro. It's just not. I'm sorry.
It's very similar. Going down to the Iron Bowl, man, against Auburn.
It's a huge game in its own right, but it's just not the same. It's not a different breed. Not everyone makes it here. A lot of people can make it in college. Not everyone makes it here.
I understand that, but he's been. I mean, I think he'll be better than. I mean, I get what you're saying, but I mean, you okay, Sean? What you got?
I agree with Zay. I'm taking Pats +4. I think that these teams know each other very well. Obviously, they play each other twice a year. And Belichick as an underdog in the playoffs, I would not bet against that. So I think the Bills will probably win it, but outright. But I think that the Pats will keep it super close. I think it might be a field goal game. So and like I said, Belichick is an underdog in the playoffs. I'm not betting against that. That's a scary sight. So Pats +4. Hammer it.
I will say, with this game, the winner of this football game will go to the Super Bowl.
All right, that's crazy.
No, it's not. It's not.
I don't hate that.
Bills -4. Let's go. Josh Allen, baby. That defense is underrated. It's been underrated all year. People aren't talking about it enough. It's solid. That one game in Buffalo before was a fluke. We saw what actually happens when these two teams meet in Foxborough. Coming back to Buffalo, the Bills get their vengeance. I think I love the over here too, but for the sake of the show, I'm going Bills -4. I think they both go up and down the field a little bit. I do think the Patriots are going to be able to get into the end zone a couple times, but I think the Bills just put the pedal to the metal offensively and are just going to be too much. Maybe J.C. Jackson can get a pick. Maybe Judon can get some pressure on Josh Allen, but I think Josh Allen will excel more than he fails. So I'm gonna go Bills -4.
The Bills are a Super Bowl lock. That's what you're saying. Your Bills are a Super Bowl lock. That's what you're saying.
They're going to the Super Bowl, yeah. But if they lose,
that'd be cool.
If they lose, I think the Pats will.
Bills and Cowboys would be cool to see the Diggs brothers play against each other. That'd be cool.
No, I don't want the Cowboys.
No, screw the Cowboys.
I'm just kidding, guys. I'm totally joking.
All right. Speaking
I don't think the Bills will be there. That's why I'm joking.
Gross division teams. Eagles going to Tampa. It's moved since I sent. Oh no, 8.5. Still 8.5. Yeah, -8.5. The Bucks. Zay, you going? You said the Eagles would make the playoffs. You were right about that a while back. But can the Eagles get the upset here?
I don't think they'll get the upset, but I do think they'll cover. I don't think they'll get the upset because Tom Brady's on the other side, and I don't think he'll lose to the NFC East anymore. I think especially the Philadelphia Eagles, a team that did him dirty in the Super Bowl, and I think he remembers that very well. But we have seen last year the Washington Redskins come in this playoff game against Tampa Bay. They played them really well. They played them tough, almost pulled that one out. So I think Tampa Bay will win this game, but give me the Eagles +8 here because I think they will keep it close and make it interesting. But again, Tom Brady's on the other side of the field.
Yeah, I mean, also Jalen Hurts has been a garbage time king as well. I think if the Bucs get up early, I think he can battle back and maybe backdoor cover. That could be interesting. But Sean, how do you see this playing out?
I have the under in this game, under 46. The Eagles, their offense is predicated really on the run game, and the Bucs have a really good run defense with guys like Vita Vea, Devin White, and Ndamukong Suh. Levante David just got designated off of IR, so there's a chance he comes back. So I think they'll shut down the run. Miles Sanders is also questionable, so I think they'll shut down the run and force them to pass. I think they can get some turnovers in that situation. And the Bucs, obviously being out without Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown now, they're kind of hurting at the skill position. So I think they'll put up points, but I don't think it will be a lot, and I don't see the Eagles scoring a lot. So I think this will be a relatively low-scoring game, so I like the under in this one.
Interesting. I do think it's going to be relatively low-scoring, but I agree with you, Sean, there. I don't like taking the under. I'm not going to take the under. I'm going to go the Bucs, though. I think they do cover. I think playoff Brady's different. I think regardless of who's on the field with him, I think he will rally this team. I think he'll get it going. I think they'll put points up on this Eagles defense. And, I think it's going to be a dominant, assertive victory for Tom Brady to start off these playoffs.
Wait, playoff Brady who almost lost to Taylor Heineke last year in the playoffs?
Yeah, but I think this is different. I think he makes a statement here right off the rip. But I get what you're saying, though. But I think it's different now that he knows.
No, same beast, different animal. I get you completely. Same beast, different animal.
I mean, it's easy to get complacent when you have all those weapons around you. Now he doesn't have these weapons, so I think you're going to have a more determined Brady to make everything happen himself. So that's why I think Brady just comes out, lights it up, puts everything to bed early, and then just continues. I think the only way the Eagles have a chance to cover is through garbage time. If Jalen Hurts can figure some stuff out in the late third, fourth quarter, because I think it will be done and over with pretty early.
Hope Antonio Brown's at the game.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Hope that throws off Brady's game.
Maybe. We'll see. But going from one NFC East team to another, the Cowboys favored by a field goal against the Niners. Sean, can the Cowboys get a playoff win?
Nope. If I had to pick a best bet, it would be Niners +3. I think the Niners win this game outright. I think that they're going to be too physical up front for the Cowboys defense. Obviously, the Cowboys have a good secondary and pass rush, but I think they'll neutralize that with the run game and then set up some play action for Jimmy G with Deebo Samuel and George Kittle. And I think this Niners defense, they played a lot better in the second half of the season. I think they can contain this Cowboys offense. Obviously, they've scored 50 points in 2 of their last 3 games, but it's also against not great competition. So I really like the Niners. I'm going to hit Niners money line on this one. I really think that they have a good chance of going in to Dallas and winning this game. And also, they've been great on the road this year. So I love the Niners in this one. I'm taking Niners +3.
All right. I love it. I love it. Sean is added to the list. Oh.
What list?
Oh.
He's not going to like what I got to say.
Oh, he's a Cowboy.
All right. Yeah. All right.
They have 2 playoff wins in the past 25 years. Get over it.
Yeah, he'll get over it because they're definitely going to lose again. I'm taking San Fran +3. It makes sense. I said it last week on the pregame show. San Fran is the scary team in the NFC, bro. They are hot. Their defense is good. That offense is clicking. And I still called them to beat the Rams last week because, again, Matthew Stafford is Matthew Stafford. We'll get to that, and I'm pretty sure the next game I'll handle that. But definitely got the San Fran right here. Give me that +3 all day. It's not even I don't even got to think about it. I just, like Sean said, too physical for the soft Cowboys team. They finally going to play a team this year. They're going to play some real teams now. That's the problem. They had a light schedule.
They're also bad against teams with winning records this year.
That's true. That is true. But I do think I think the Cowboys have enough to get a single playoff win. And maybe they can build off that. I don't want them to. I don't want it to happen, but I'm just being honest with myself here. I'm gonna go the Cowboys -3. I don't want to do it. I was trying to go the over, but 51, that's a lot. That's a lot for this 49ers offense, to be honest with you. I like what I'm going to go the Cowboys. I think they can get one win. One playoff win, and then they're going to have to figure some more stuff out if they want to be a Super Bowl contender. I think they can get a playoff win, lose to Tampa Bay or Rams or Cardinals next round. But, yeah, I'm going to go Cowboys to get at least one. You got to give the NFC East has to have at least something, right?
No. It's okay. It's okay. Not until the Giants get back to form. I'm fine with them not having nothing. It's absolutely I'm absolutely fine if we all suffer until the Giants are good again. I'm absolutely fine. I sleep better at night knowing they're not in the playoffs. Okay. Go 49ers.
I mean, I guess maybe. I don't know. I haven't been told.
No, screw the rest of the NFC East.
I know.
I'm with Zay.
I'm with you most of the time, but I can't get a read on these Niners. The Niners have been screwing me all season long. Maybe they'll continue to screw me here, but
so you're just chasing them because you've lost.
I don't know. I mean, I did have I pretty much clinched the fantasy locks when I picked Deebo Samuel.
All right, enough with the.
But no, but it's
swear,
tough. I can't really gauge the Niners. I haven't been able to gauge the Cowboys. I don't know. I don't know what to expect from this game, but it will be a good game, and I think it might be the most interesting game all weekend. But we'll see. We'll see.
Doubt it.
Well, let's move on to definitely not the most interesting game. The Steelers, Chiefs. That big number, does it scare you, Sean?
Not at all, because I'm taking the over in this game, 46.5. This was my best bet a couple weeks ago when they played each other, was the over, and it hit. I think it will be a similar game here, even though I think the Steelers will score more points this time around. But I think the Chiefs will still put up big numbers. So I like the over in this one. I'm thinking maybe like a 31-17 game. Somewhere around there. Win by 2 touchdowns. So, yeah, I like the over in this one. Smash it.
Look, you do the math on it. I'm actually going to take Pittsburgh. I'm going to take Pittsburgh getting 12. And here's why I say this. I think Pittsburgh has a tough defense, and I think they could force that offensive struggle because we know Pat Mahomes has a tendency to do too much sometimes and cause a lot of issues. Obviously, they've been better as of late, and their defense has been better as of late. But I just think there's something about this Steelers team where I don't know, just this underdog, the nothing to lose. You know, they really honestly, they have nothing to lose. If they lose, they weren't expected to be in the playoffs in the first place. So at this point, yeah, I think a team like that, they'll come in, they'll play loose, they'll play free, and they may surprise you. So I think I'm going to take the Steelers getting 12 in what could be Ben's last game. I'm not going to write him off yet. I know it's the Chiefs, but like I said, you never know. He shouldn't be in the playoffs as it is.
No, I'm with you.
Team of destiny. Big Ben's last ride.
No, I mean, I'm with you. I'm with you, Zay. I think the Steelers keep it close. I think 12.5 is a little too much. Also, the playoffs are a time where, like, you see it correlates with the whole team. Like, you see what happens all season long, and the Chiefs struggled early in the season. Let's not forget that. I do think some of those struggles will come out. I do think a guy like TJ Watt, I think, will wreck this game a little bit, not too much. I think Minka Fitzpatrick will get a couple picks against the Mahomes, but I ultimately think Big Ben is just not good enough to get them into the end zone enough to compete and go toe for toe with Patrick Mahomes. So while I think the Steelers defense will keep it closer than 12.5, I see this like a 7, maybe even 10-point game with the Chiefs winning. But I do. The Steelers will keep it close. But, yeah, Chiefs are going to win, move on, continue to roll. They might get to the Super Bowl as well. They got to be. They are the favorites in the AFC, so we'll see there. But to round it off, finish up wild card weekend, the Monday night game, NFC West matchup. Cards going to LA to take on the Rams. Sean, what do you like?
I like Cardinals +4. Another two teams that know each other very well. I think that the Rams, you just, like you said with the Niners and Cowboys, you don't know what to expect with them. I don't know what to expect with the Rams. You get a different Rams team every week. Even half to half. They looked dominant last week against the Niners in the first half and then just completely crumbled in the second half. And I think this Cardinals team just overall is better. Their defense is very underrated. Kyler Murray, I think he's not as turnover prone as Matthew Stafford. I think that they have a run game with James Conner. So I like the Cardinals in this one. This is another one where I might take the underdog money line. Still thinking about it, but I definitely like the Cardinals with the spread here because even if they lose, I think they're going to keep it super close. But I think the Cardinals have a good chance. They're another team that's very good on the road. I think they went 8-1 or 7-1 on the road this year. So I really like their chances here, and I think they'll definitely cover.
Yep, Sean hit the nail on the head with that one. That's what I was exactly going to say. If this was a home game for the Cardinals, I'd be picking the Rams. But because it's a away game, I'm picking the Cardinals here. They play way better on the road, especially in big games we've seen this year. And I said it before, when the Rams signed Odell Beckham, they sealed their fate. Odell Beckham Jr. brings down your team because he can't be there for you in the biggest moments. Not to mention Stafford is what Stafford always will be, and we'll see it now in full front. He is a quarterback that will just never get over the hump. That's just what it comes down to. That's what it's always been. He's had the greatest receiver in NFL history and couldn't do anything with it. I don't care what you want to say about the teams. They weren't always terrible. So I will say this. Matthew Stafford is a bum. He will suck it up this week. The Cardinals will win this, and they will cover. Giving them the points is I don't understand how the Rams aren't the underdogs. This is wild. This is literally wild. But, yeah.
Because McVay's own Cliff Kingsbury. That's why.
I understand. But without Robert Woods, it's not going to happen. Again, Odell doesn't show up in the biggest moments. He really doesn't. You saw at the end of last week's game. A play where he just let the ball get an interception. He didn't stop to go back and knock the ball away.
That was underthrown.
Yeah, but still, he didn't even try to defend on. He just let the guy catch the I don't like the attitude, the diva attitude from him. Prove me something. Do something. You've had one playoff game where you've done nothing but drop the ball. And you dropped 2 touchdowns at that point in that game. Show me something.
Yeah, but I will say like I said with the Pats-Bills game, the winner of this game will go to the Super Bowl. I think whoever wins this game comes out of the NFC.
Doing that.
No. I think the Cardinals win this game, but my bet is going to be the over. I think
the Rams are going to Green Bay and beating Green Bay in their home in the blistering cold.
Yes.
With Aaron Rodgers.
No, I actually think the Cardinals are going to do it. That's what I actually think.
Oh, my Lord.
Listen. No, I think I'm going the over here because I do think both these offenses are going to be able to move the football. I think Stafford and Cooper Kupp are going to have a big day. I think Kyler Murray has a lot. They don't have D-Hop back, but he does have a lot healthier other weapons. I think he distributes it well. Get James Conner running the football pretty well. I think it's a close game. I do think they're able to move up and down a little bit on each other and get into the end zone. I think they both these teams can score around 30, so that's why I love the over here. But I do think it could go. It's a coin toss. I like the Cardinals to win the football game, so I might sprinkle a little bit of that on the money line. We'll see. But as far as bet goes, over.
No, you can take the Cardinals.
Points.
Yeah. Take the Cardinals. They're not going to win the Super Bowl. We'll take the Cardinals here. You know, just.
All right. I mean, Sean McVay is also owned Cliff Kingsbury. And we see stuff like this happen all the time, especially in that division. Look at Shanahan and how he just always has Sean McVay's number. Like, there's stuff around that, and it works like that, especially. And it comes out, especially in the playoffs. So we'll see.
They split this year, though, 1-1. At least the Niners own the Rams, but at least the Cardinals and the Rams split this year.
Can Saturday get here already? Can we start this thing already?
Yeah.
I'm hyped. I can't wait to see. I can't wait for next week. I can't wait to see your face.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see. Because I mean, we're just one step closer to the Super Bowl. I'm excited to see who's gonna win it this year. Because I mean, it's wide open. I feel like there's usually like one favorite here, one favorite there. I mean, everyone saw Kansas City waltzing to the playoffs come last year, and they did. And will the same thing happen here? We'll see. I don't know, but I'm excited. Meaningful football. We don't get to see a lot of that as Giants fans. Now every game's meaningful.
Super Bowl means the end of the season. No more football. What we gonna watch?
Yeah, we gotta cherish the playoffs as it lasts.
Yeah, but we can also watch NBA. And if you love NBA, make sure you check out Posting Up podcast, where us three are joined by Lucas Bolduc to talk some NBA, and we'll get to that. Make sure you stay tuned on the Twitch, on the YouTube, and on the Facebook, because we'll get to that later tonight as well. So make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you follow us. Make sure you check out clovercrestmedia.com for not just more information about this podcast, a bunch of other podcasts. But that's going to do it for John about the G-Men this week. For myself, Big Jace, Sean Sandlin, and Isaiah Groves. Thank you guys for watching.
That says Isaiah Groves. Ew.
Yeah.
Wrong show.
We'll see you next week for more John about the G-Men, not talking as much Giants. Thank God.
We'll be talking Giants. Maybe a new GM, maybe a new head coach.
We will, but not as much. We don't have a full game to dissect and prepare for each week. So we'll still get our.
They haven't done that all year.
Yeah, but all right.
Let me go watch.
We'll see you next week. Catch you later.
The Giants are running New York like the Times as Danny is dropping all sorts of dimes. Saquon's thighs are ruining defenses' lives and Leonard Williams making opposing QBs feel him. Receivers think it's scary to line up across James Bradbury, and the Giants have a bright future led by Coach Judge, Jury, and Executioner. Tune in to Drawing About the G-Men every Wednesday at 6, live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
This ain't some clown show organization or something else.
Hello, my name is Joe Aguirre. I'm the president of Clovercrest Media Group. And here at CMG, we have a wide variety of podcasts, including sports shows like Keys to the City, The Roll Call, Throwing Jabs, All Four Downs, and Jawing About the G-Men. And great true crime shows like Sticky Week, Crimes and Consequences, Ivy League Murders, and Bird, the unsolved murder of David Eichmann. You can find all these podcasts and so much more by visiting clovercrestmedia.com.